The summer air feels heavy, almost as if it knows the weight of the choice Belly carries in her heart. Two brothers, two kinds of love, and one girl standing at the edge of a decision that could change everything. Jeremiah's warmth pulls her forward, while Conrad's quiet presence keeps her tied to the past. In this story, love is not simple, it's messy, it's fragile, and it asks for more than Belly ever thought she could give. Tonight, in Season 3, Episode 9, she finds herself torn more than ever before. Belly's story has never been about easy answers. From the very first summer, her heart was caught between two boys who meant the world to her. Conrad was her first love, the boy she had dreamed about for years. The one whose silence spoke louder than words, whose eyes carried the kind of weight that made her feel both safe and broken at the same time. He wasn't perfect. He shut people out. He ran from his pain, but still, Belly couldn't stop seeing the boy she had loved for so long. Every moment with Conrad felt like fire and shadow, intense, beautiful, but often out of reach. Then there was Jeremiah. Unlike his brother, he never hid his feelings. He laughed with Belly, he listened to her, he offered her a kind of love that was open, loyal, and steady. He was her best friend, and someone who wasn't afraid to say the things Conrad never could. With Jeremiah, Belly felt like the world wasn't so complicated. She could breathe. She could smile. She could be herself without always second-guessing where she stood. But love isn't fair, and it doesn't split down the middle. The more Belly tried to figure out what she wanted, the more she realized she couldn't imagine life without either. Of them, Conrad represented a love that was part of her history, the love she had always wanted, the love that burned brighter because it was difficult. Jeremiah represented comfort, possibility, and a future where she didn't have to wonder if she was enough. As the season unfolded, the stakes grew higher. Small choices led to big consequences. Every look, every word, every hesitation deepened the conflict. Conrad confessed his feelings too late. Jeremiah stepped forward with everything he had, and Belly was left in the middle, unsure of what her heart was truly saying. Episode 9 begins with this storm inside, her a storm, where past and future crash against each other like waves against the shore. The house at Cousin's Beach, once a place of joy and freedom, became a stage for her inner struggle. Memories lingered in every corner. Late-night talks, quiet confessions, moments of laughter that turned into moments of pain. Azroom held a reminder of what she had with Conrad, while Jeremiah's presence reminded her of what she could have. Now, no matter where she turned, she couldn't escape the pull of both brothers. And that's where we stand at the start of this episode. Belly isn't just choosing between two boys, she's choosing between two versions of herself. One version clings to the dream she's always had, the dream of Conrad. The other version dares to believe in something new, something safe, something Jeremiah could give her. It isn't a love triangle anymore. It's a battle inside Belly's own heart as the story moves forward. Every word and every silence will matter. Each brother will reveal pieces of themselves that Belly can't ignore. Episode 9 sets the stage for a choice that feels impossible, but one that Belly knows she cannot run from forever. Because in the end, love demands a decision, and this summer is the moment when her world changes forever. Belly thought she could keep her feelings hidden. But in Episode 9, the truth comes crashing forward, refusing to stay buried. The tension that has been building all summer finally spills over, and for the first time, both Jeremiah and Conrad are standing in the same space, demanding answers without even saying the words. Their eyes say enough, their silence is louder than the ocean outside the house. And Belly, caught between them, feels her heart pulling in two directions at once. With Conrad, there's always this quiet electricity. He doesn't need grand gestures. The way he looks at her is enough to remind Belly of everything they have shared. His presence is heavy with memory, the long nights they stayed awake talking, the stolen glances when neither of them was ready to admit how they felt, the heartbreak of missed chances. Even when Conrad doesn't speak, his silence carries a weight that ties Belly back to him. A reminder that first love never really disappears. But Jeremiah is different. He doesn't hold back. His words come quickly, almost desperately, because he knows what is at stake. He tells Belly that he's not afraid to love her fully, to fight for her in a way Conrad never has. His laughter fills the space as Conrad leaves. Empty. He's open, he's warm, and he makes sure Belly knows she doesn't have to wonder where she stands. With Jeremiah, there's no guessing game. There's certainty. And yet certainty can feel safer than it is passionate, and Belly is terrified of confusing comfort with true love. In this episode, every interaction feels charged. When Conrad pulls Belly aside, his voice low and steady, she hears the honesty. He has been hiding for too long. He admits pieces of his heart that she has been waiting years to hear. For a moment, it feels like the dream she has carried is finally real. But then Jeremiah steps in, refusing to be silent, refusing to lose. Her too hesitation and late confessions. His energy is fiery, almost storm-like, as if he is determined not to let her slip through his hands. The conflict is not just between the brothers. It's inside Belly herself. She feels guilty for wanting them both in different ways. She feels angry that love could be so confusing. Above all, she feels scared, because she knows choosing one means breaking the other. The beach house, once filled with joy and summer memories, feels like a battlefield. Each word from Jeremiah, each glance from Conrad, cuts her deeper. The writers of Episode 9 make sure the tension is not only about romance, it's about identity. Who is Belly when she is with Conrad? Who is she when she is with Jeremiah? With Conrad, she is the girl who always dreamed, who fought to be noticed, who wanted the impossible. With Jeremiah, she is the girl who is enough as she is, who can laugh without doubt, who can believe in something new. The conflict is not just love, it is the struggle to decide who she really wants to be. By the middle of the episode, it becomes clear that Belly can't avoid this choice anymore. The brothers are no longer willing to wait in silence. They want answers, even if she isn't ready to give them. And the audience is left watching, holding their breath, knowing that whatever Belly decides, the world she knows will never be the same. The summer is slipping away, and so is her time to choose. The storm doesn't break with thunder, it breaks with silence. Episode 9 gives us a moment where time feels suspended, where the three of them stand together in the same room, and the air grows thick with everything unspoken. Belly can feel her heart pounding in her chest. And it's not just because of what Jeremiah or Conrad might say, it's because she knows that once the words leave their mouths, there will be no turning back. Conrad is the first to step forward. His voice is quiet, almost trembling, but the honesty in it cuts deeper than any shout could. He admits what he has been too afraid to say all summer, maybe all his life, that losing Belly was his greatest mistake, and that every part of him still wants her. The confession isn't smooth, it isn't perfect, but that's what makes it real. His vulnerability shakes Belly, because it's the Conrad she always believed was buried under layers of distance and pride. In that moment, the boy she loved for years feels close again, close enough to touch. But before Belly can even process the weight of Conrad's words, Jeremiah breaks in. His voice is not soft, it's raw, almost desperate. He doesn't want to lose her to half-spoken promises or memories of the past. He tells her that love isn't just about history, it's about showing up, about choosing each other every single day. Jeremiah is fire where Conrad is shadow, and his words pour out like flames, burning with the need to be heard. For him, this isn't just a confession, it's a plea for Belly to see the love he has always offered without hesitation. Scene unfolds like two tides colliding. On one side, Conrad's quiet intensity, his soft-spoken truth that feels like an anchor pulling her backward into the weight of their shared history. On the other, Jeremiah's relentless energy, his unwavering promise of a future built on openness and light. Belly feels herself drowning between the two, torn between the dream she once held and the love that stands firmly in front of her now. The writers make the scene unforgettable by using silence as much as dialogue. The pauses matter more than the words. The looks exchanged say more than any confession could. Belly doesn't immediately answer either of them, because how could she? Choosing one brother means breaking the other, and both mean breaking a part of herself. As the moment stretches, the atmosphere shifts. Outside, the sky is darkening, the sound of waves crashing harder against the shore. The house itself feels like it is holding its breath, waiting for her decision. The tension is almost unbearable. Belly's eyes move between Conrad and Jeremiah. Each look heavy, with years of love, loss, and longing. This isn't just about romance anymore. It's about courage. It's about deciding whether she wants to chase the boy she has always dreamed of, or embrace the one who has stood by her side when that dream shattered. And as the audience, we are left on the edge of our seats, knowing that whichever way she turns, the summer will never be the same again. The pivotal scene doesn't give us closure, it gives us a wound that cannot be ignored. By the end of it, we don't know what Belly will choose. But we know one thing for certain. This love triangle is no longer a quiet undercurrent. It is the storm itself, and it has finally hit land. Asterisk when the voices finally fade. What lingers is not an answer, it's the silence of choices still unmade. Belly stands between Jeremiah and Conrad, but what she really faces is herself. For so long, she believed this love triangle was only about two brothers. But episode 9 forces her to see the truth. It is about the girl caught in between, and who she is willing to become. The themes rise like waves beneath the surface. Love is not only about desire, it is about loyalty, about courage, about deciding who you want to walk beside when the summer ends and the world grows cold again. With Conrad, love is history, heavy and unforgettable. With Jeremiah, love is possibility, alive and unafraid. And with Belly, love is transformation, the kind that demands she grow, that she'll stop hiding behind what she once wanted, and finally face what she truly needs. Episode 9 doesn't give us the relief of a decision. Instead, it deepens the wound. Each brother leaves Belly with words that cling to her like shadows. Conrad's quiet confession, Jeremiah's burning plea. The echoes of their voices follow her even when she is alone. And in that loneliness, she realizes that this choice will define more than just her summer. It will define her heart. The visuals in this part of the story feel symbolic. The ocean, pulling in two directions. The sunset bleeding into night. The journal she cannot bring herself to write in. These images remind us that Belly's world is no longer just about moments of teenage love. It is about the weight of adulthood pressing at the edge of her innocence. Choosing between Jeremiah and Conrad isn't just about love. It's about identity. And about learning that sometimes love means breaking something you wish you could protect. And then comes the cliffhanger. The camera holds on Belly's face as she looks out toward the horizon, tears glimmering but unshed. A single question lingers in the air. One the audience can feel but never hears spoken. Who will she choose? The screen fades to black before the answer comes, leaving us stranded in the storm just as much as Belly herself. The heartbeat sound grows louder. The waves crash harder. The summer, once endless and golden, now feels fragile, fading. Episode 9 closes not with closure, but with tension stretched so tight it could snap at any second. The choice is coming, the ending is near, and when it does, nothing, neither Belly, nor Jeremiah, nor Conrad will ever be the same again. Asterisk night falls at Cousins, and with it comes a quiet that feels heavier than any storm. The confrontation has ended, but the echoes remain: Conrad's voice, Jeremiah's plea, Belly's silence. The house seems colder now, as if even its walls understand that something irreversible has just taken place. Episode 9 doesn't close with peace. It closes with a raw ache, a silence that demands to be felt. Belly wanders through the empty rooms, each corner filled with memories that pull her in different directions. In the kitchen, she remembers Jeremiah laughing as they cooked together, his ease making her feel lighter than she ever thought possible. In the living room, she sees Conrad leaning against the wall, the quiet intensity in his eyes reminding her of every secret longing she carried for years. Every step feels like walking through her own past and her own future at once, and she can't tell which path she belongs to. The beauty of this episode lies not in the choice itself, but in the way Belly begins to see the cost of choosing. She realizes that love is not only about what fills your heart, but also about what breaks it. No matter what she decides, someone will be left behind. Someone will carry the weight of heartbreak. And maybe, just maybe, Belly herself will never walk away unscarred. The night sky outside is painted with stars, but even they feel distant. She steps onto the porch, the ocean's roar louder than usual, as if mocking her silence. Back. In that moment, Belly whispers to herself, not loud enough for anyone else to hear, "What if I don't choose right?" It is a question that carries no easy answer, a question that leaves her trembling, because she knows there is no safe path anymore. What makes this scene unique is how it turns inward. The audience doesn't just see the love triangle we see, the toll it takes on Belly's spirit. She is no longer the girl who arrived at Cousins dreaming of simple summers and easy love. She has grown into someone who understands that love is fragile, that it demands sacrifice, and that sometimes choosing means breaking something you wish you could keep whole. As the episode nears its end, we get a final haunting image: Belly standing alone at the edge of the shore, waves crashing at her feet, her reflection fractured in the water. It is a symbol of her divided heart, a reminder that she cannot stay in between forever. The tide is rising, the season is slipping away, and so is her time. The screen fades slowly to black, but the sound of the ocean lingers, leaving the audience with one final thought: love is beautiful, but it is never simple. And the summer that once promised joy now holds the weight of decisions that could last a lifetime. Sleep does not come easily for Belly when it finally does. It arrives like a storm-tossed tide, pulling her into dreams that blur the line between memory and prophecy. Episode 9 doesn't just leave her conflicted in waking life, it follows her into the quiet of night, to the places where her heart speaks louder than her mind. In her dream, Belly walks along the beach at Cousins. The sky is split in two, one half glowing with golden light, the other swallowed in shadow. Two paths stretch before her, each leading to a figure standing in the distance. One figure is Jeremiah, radiant and open, his hand outstretched, the sand beneath his feet, warm and steady. The other is Conrad, standing by the waves, the water pulling at him, his eyes dark but full of depth, as if holding 1,000 secrets. Both are waiting, both are watching, and Belly feels the weight of their gaze as if it could break her in two. She steps forward, but each time she leans toward one, the other begins to fade. The harder she tries to hold them both, the more they slip from her grasp. In this dreamscape, the truth becomes painfully clear. She cannot carry both loves. To choose one is to lose the other, and in losing, she will also lose the version of herself that belonged to them. The symbolism is heavy yet beautiful. The ocean, always present, becomes a mirror of her heart, pulling her in, pushing her out, never steady, never still. The sky's divide shows her inner war, hope against fear, past against future, safety against passion. Belly herself becomes the shoreline caught between land and sea, belonging to both but fully to neither. When she wakes, her chest is tight, her hands trembling, as if she has truly lost something in her sleep. The dream is not just a figment, it is a warning, a reminder that time is running out. She can no longer drift between choices, no longer hope that the answer will come without cost. Episode 9 uses this dreamlike imagery to remind the audience that Belly's story is not only about love, it is about transformation. The dream is less about Jeremiah or Conrad and more about Belly learning that she cannot stay divided forever. She must step forward, even if her feet sink into the sand, even if the waves crash against her, even if it means walking into the unknown. The foreshadowing is clear. The finale will not let her hide. The choice is coming, and with it, the breaking of something precious. As Belly stares at the ceiling in the dim light of dawn, her whispered words capture the heart of the entire series. What if the summer I dreamed of was never meant to last? The camera lingers on her face before fading out, leaving the audience unsettled yet eager. The dream may have ended, but its message still echoes. The summer is closing, and with it, the innocence of waiting. What remains is decisioned, the pain it will bring.